Covered bridge all the way to the plane.
I'd like to be the first to welcome you to Cleveland. The local
Yesterday on an airplane, the lady next to me was asking about my backpack full of cameras. She asked, "Are you a photographer?" "No," I replied. "I make videos. YouTube videos." Photography and videography go hand in hand. Kind of. I use photos in almost every video that I make, but normally as a reference to the past. With more recent photos, I love using live photos so that I can still see movement in the image. This concept of subtle movement really excites me. The GIF being the bridge between photo and video seemed fascinating to explore. In one of my early notebooks and in the year 2020, I drew out this idea, a digital version of a camera from the 80s, an idea completely given up on by all major camera companies, but yet a camera trending on social media. Why has no one made this digital yet? Let's give it a shot. Hi everyone, welcome to episode 3. In the late 1980s, this camera was released on the market, a 3-dimensional quadra lens camera. It was different than almost everything else at the time. A few years ago, I saw a music video that featured this camera and the photos it takes. It's mind-blowing, the aesthetic. It's something I've never seen before. It's something that is so rare because, well, it's a film camera. This camera itself is rare. And I became obsessed. So it's 2020 and I'm locked in my office for like a year. I was learning how to use Raspberry Pis, and the fun thing about Raspberry Pis is they have a camera module. So I put 2 and 2 together and thought to myself, I wonder if I could make a digital version of this. And I looked, nothing like that exists. With the explosion of these microcomputers with camera modules, this has to be possible. So let me let Kent from 2020 tell you about it. Welcome to If Kent Can Design a Camera from Scratch. We started by talking about the state of current cameras and how I think they're boring. We then found the original stereoscopic camera, which is what this camera is modeled after. We bought all the parts we're gonna need. We built a prototype housing out of Legos. We brainstormed ideas for what the camera could do on top of the main idea. We assembled all of the parts into a version 1 of the stereoscopic camera, and we finished by taking the first photo. I had to tackle this idea because it just seemed impossible. In episode 1, I received a comment I wanted to share with you. Create. When we create, we are closer to G-O-D. Good, orderly direction. Ain't no tap dancer in the sky gonna make me dance unless I choose to put on dancing shoes. That's from my friend Gigi. I feel like ideas arrive at my door in small and large packages. To me, those ideas don't just come from nowhere. Being creative is my spiritual expression. By filming and making videos and making things with my hands and going out and experiencing things, that's my prayer and my desire to tackle larger, more complex ideas that I don't even quite know are possible. But going on that journey, even beginning the process, is what I feel that I'm meant to do. Hey Kent, didn't you say you had already built this camera one time? Well, here's why version 1 of this camera completely failed. We could take 4 photos at almost the same time. Keyword, almost. What makes 3-dimensional lenticular photos work is a freeze of time. All 4 lenses take the photo at exactly the same moment. This camera array board would take the photos sequentially. 1, 2, 3, 4. That right there fundamentally broke the camera. The best I could do was stand unbelievably still and it would start taking images. We got to the end of that 4-part series and it was a complete failure. Here we are 2 years later. Technology has come along further. I have grown as an artist and a coder. We may have a shot at making this work. I look crazy right now, but I've just been going through old notebooks, like gathering all the ideas of how this is gonna be possible. I just looked at new parts. This is gonna be possible. They just released a new this is gonna be possible. So here's what I got. The Raspberry Pi 4B, a camera array hat. Think of it like a 4-to-1 splitter with 4 16-megapixel cameras. 16 megapixels. This is my big camera and it has 12. one 5,000 milliamp hour battery, an LED, 330 ohm resistor, and 2 wires. Luckily, all these parts are meant to work together, so they just snap and screw together like a dream. These gold things I'm putting on are called standoffs because we need a little space between the board and the hat. That's the camera ribbon plugging in. Power, keyboard, mouse. Okay, so I'm back at the studio. I'm trying to get all 4 cameras connected and then set up in my little like Lego set, but this is not bad. That's something. Okay, I'm a bit nervous, but here goes first power on of Raspberry Pi 4 with camera array hat. Oh, I forgot HDMI. Nope, unpower. No light on the cameras. Oh man, what's that? Okay, after about an hour of updates, I think it is time to test the camera. Oh, there's another update that I gotta do. Okay, now let's try this. Theoretically, this should do something. No cameras available. Come on, cameras, work. No cameras available. Guess what I just learned? All my cameras are in backwards. That's why they weren't turning on. Okay, lib, camera. This is the code that should launch all the cameras. Here we go. No cameras available. Attempt number 10. No. It's been maybe 4 hours since I last talked to you, but hold on, let me show you. Enter. We get this. I know that that's still bad, but that's better than nothing. Okay, I'm gonna secretly film myself here because every time I film myself in the past, it's not worked, but it might work this time. Oh, putting my camera down there, hope it doesn't turn off. Oh, look, it's me. Oh my God, the satisfaction is amazing. Do you see they're all moving exactly the same time? Dude, I cannot believe it. My first job out of college was at a startup, and I learned many things, but let me teach you one that's really stuck with me.
New kid on the block has a question.
What's the point of this meeting? It's called MVP, or Minimum Viable Product. When you're building something, whether it's a big project or a small project, it's really important to identify what is the minimum needed to portray and show your idea. For this project, it was clear. That was take 4 photos. That's it. That's all the camera needed to do. To be honest, I am staring into a very make or break moment. So either this works and it's our first test with the new like all lined up board, or all the cameras are fried. Here we go. Run. Opening. All the cameras are on and they're all, it's working. Oh my, I have never been this close. I've never been this close. Okay. I'm building a camera. With the MVP complete, I began the process of achieving the 3 stretch goals. 1. After the picture is taken, rename the files and folder by date. 2. Crop all the images out of the 2x2 grid into individuals. And 3. Turn those 4 images into a GIF. This is where I owe a huge thank you to my wife, Jamie. Jamie and I met in college when she was my computer science TA and my dance teacher, but that's a story for a different time. Every time I do a code project, she always ends up helping me, but she never gives it away. She never tells me how to do it. She still has that same TA energy and helps me understand, which is probably one of the greatest qualities about her. She loves learning just the way I do and cares about me having that experience. Now it's time for some Buffalo Bill facts. Buffalo Bill's Wild West show was legendary and drew crowds all across the world. The sheer reach of these performances have led some historians to assert that at the height of his traveling show's fame, Cody was the most recognizable celebrity in the world. He even performed for the Pope. This concludes Buffalo Bill facts. Okay, we've officially got 140 lines of code written, most of which Jamie helped me with. The other half was copied from the internet. That's okay though. That's kind of the point of the Raspberry Pi existing. It's meant to have this open source attitude, so we're all contributing to the same project to help each other grow. So we officially achieved those first 2 stretch goals. Naming folders and files by date is really helpful, so every time you take a photo, new folder, all the images in that folder, all named accordingly. And the second goal, cropping them into individual images. You basically can just type crop and it does it. So we just did that 4 times for all the images. Bam, 4 images. The last one though, this is where we struggled. It turns out I don't have the best understanding of how these 3D photos work, but these were stretch goals. I think it's time to pivot and focus on the design of the camera. Really, I say design, but I just kind of want to have something one step greater than the Lego housing that it's currently in. Let me show you something. Over here, on the wall of Kent, there are these 2 things. This right here is the Lego housing of the first version of this camera. I kept it. It's so beautiful to see where we came from. And then this here, as you can see, version 2 2020, is the broken version of the first 3D printed housing for this camera. So designing a camera, that's probably gonna be pretty hard. Well, it's another task that I certainly do not know how to do, but I'm not afraid to tackle. I know my first step. I just basically need the equivalent of a bucket that everything can sit in. Let's do that. So designing objects in 3D is not as hard as you think. You're not just spawning some shape out of nothing. You start with a cube, and you squish and stretch and cut holes in that cube as you need. My first design is a flat plane with a bunch of cylinders coming off at the sides of the screws I'm going to use to tie down the cameras. Fun story, this is actually the wrong thing to do. This is a mistake, but watch me fail. Isn't it fun? Okay, so I've been working on this for quite a while. Think I did it right. Model errors. Back to the drawing board. Well, since I'm redoing everything, I'm just gonna push Control Z maybe 100 times. Now let's try 3D printing this. 42 minutes to print this. Let's go. Okay, so it looks like it tried to make those little screw holes, but this doesn't feel like the right length. Back to the drawing board. When creating something in 3D, there's something really important you need to understand. Iterating on your ideas is key. Almost never will you make something and first try it will be what you're looking for. What started now was a week of trial and error. Version 1 became version 2, 2 became 3, version 3 then became version 1 of the full camera. To design this, I literally copy and pasted version 3 onto a rectangle. And I think it is officially time to take it on its first shoot. I mean, it's a test camera, but it'd be fun. Okay, we shove that in there. And then theoretically, I just need to push that button. If that comes on, we're taking photos. Hello? Yes, we're taking photos. This hilarious meme of a camera's actually working. Things started to progress really quickly. Version 1 became version 2, 2 became 3, 3 became 4, 5 never got printed because I immediately caught an error, 6 was a great version, first version to use magnets to hold the top on, 7 was a strange experiment, and version 8, well, that's where we are now. Let's assemble it. Here it is, version 8. This thing is sweet. There's a few letdowns, but let's get into it. I think the reality of this camera is understanding that it is a homemade camera. Things just take longer. It's not specifically made to do this. I just happened to make it do it. So here on the Nishika N8000, when you push the shutter button, the photo just takes. Here on my beautiful version 8, wait for it. It's thinking. 1, 2, 3. Then it took. So you gotta wait. I pretty much take this thing everywhere with me, especially now that I got a special case for carrying it. This fanny pack here has become the predominant carrying case of version 8. Just slides right in there. What makes this camera so special is how rare it is. There's such few devices that can actually create this type of imagery. To now have literally a one of one, my own, the first digital of this is just the greatest. I don't know what the ideas that you have that you think are impossible are, but I would encourage you to take any step you can toward figuring it out. So here's the big ugly flaw with this camera. It unfortunately doesn't spit out the GIF. You have to pick manually on the image where the focal point is. So in spirit of doing things I don't know how to do, I'm building an iOS app to do exactly that. As you can see, the button still says button. So I select 3 images. Oh, I can't show you those are secret. Okay, so I select the images I want to import and it crashes. Point being, I'll get there eventually. I feel a true spiritual connection when I chase down ideas, that excitement that builds inside of me when I think of something new that I want to do. That feeling is why. And it's the same thing when I complete a new project that I thought was truly impossible. I built a camera from scratch. What am I doing? If you're a person who makes things, or you're a person who's never made something, chase down ideas relentlessly. I promise you will find new things about yourself on that journey, and that is worth it. Okay, that's all for this episode. Finish that hard, follow your dreams, and I'll see you in a video very soon.